Welcome to the Deep Dive, the place where we turn your stack of research, all the data, the articles, the market reports, into clear, actionable knowledge. So every single year, it's like clockwork. The calendar flips to November, holiday decorations pop up, and homeowners trying to sell all start asking the exact same thing. Do I keep going through the holidays, or do I just surrender? Pull my home off the market and, try again after the new year. And it makes total sense why you'd want to pause. The source material really nails this struggle. I mean, the holidays and keeping a house photo-ready.
You're even just showing ready.
Exactly. They're just natural enemies. You're juggling family, maybe travel, you're hiding a mountain of Amazon boxes, and then boom, a request for a showing in 30 minutes. It's the definition of chaos.
It absolutely is.
Right.
And we have to acknowledge that feeling. But that urge to just stop, to pull back, it's almost always based on, well, the seller's convenience and emotion, not on the actual market dynamics.
Yeah.
If you really look at the core insights from the source material, especially those reports from Freddie Mac and the Mortgage Bankers Association, the evidence points in the complete opposite direction. Staying active during this supposed slowdown in November and December can give you a really meaningful advantage, an edge you just won't have in the spring.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to cut right through that seasonal noise. We need to figure out why the holiday market feels so slow and stressful, but why the data we have, the financial shifts, buyer psychology, suggests this powerful, almost hidden opportunity.
Precisely. It's about being strategic when everyone else is just being emotional. We have to move past the subjective feeling of a slow market and look at what's really happening.
So let's start right there. The common perception is that the entire housing market just, grinds to a halt between Thanksgiving and New Year's. What's the data that shows buyers are actually still in the game right now?
Well, what's fascinating is how sensitive buyers are to mortgage rates today. I mean, incredibly sensitive. According to those recent Freddie Mac reports we looked at, the average 30-year fixed rate just dipped to a little over 6.2%.
And 6.2%, that's a key number.
It's a huge number. Critically, that's near the lowest level it's been in well over a year. And that easing, even if it seems kind of small, it signals opportunity to thousands of buyers who've just been sitting on the sidelines waiting for any good news at all.
Okay, but we hear rate drop, and for a lot of people, that's just an abstract number. Can you make that more tangible for us? What does moving from, say, 7% down to 6.2% actually do for a buyer's budget?
That's the most important connection to make, right? So let's use a standard example. On, let's say, a $400,000 mortgage, not even the full price of the home.
Yeah.
A drop like that can immediately save them hundreds of dollars every single month.
Hundreds of dollars.
Every month. That relief is immediate. And when buyers see that, it's not just a hopeful sign, it's a financial unlock. It brings a property they couldn't afford last month suddenly into reach. That's why demand doesn't just die off. It waits.
Yeah.
It waits for these little windows.
And we see the impact of that unlock immediately in people's actions. This is where the data gets, I think, undeniable. The Mortgage Bankers Association, the MBA, reported that purchase applications jumped.
They jumped, yeah.
By about 8% in a single week. And just to be clear for everyone listening, the MBA tracks actual mortgage applications. These aren't just people browsing Zillow.
No, not at all.
These are people talking to a lender already committed.
Exactly. When the rate dips, these serious, committed buyers, they strike immediately. The data confirms it. The shifts in financing translate very, very quickly into hard buyer activity. They're timing their purchase, so while the casual traffic might slow down, the activity from highly committed, qualified buyers, that remains very much alive.
Okay, so the numbers are there. Let's talk about the qualitative side of it. Who exactly is left in the buying pool when everyone else is wrapping gifts? This is where it gets really interesting. The advantage you get when all those other homeowners take the path of least resistance and pull their listings.
This creates a critical numerical advantage. When a big chunk of competing homeowners voluntarily take their homes off the market in November and December, the sellers who stay put, they benefit from just drastically reduced competition.
I mean, if the listing pool shrinks by, 20 or 30%, your visibility just skyrockets.
It multiplies, exactly. Fewer similar homes for buyers to choose from. It stands to reason that the few active homes just become the center of attention.
Okay, but let me introduce a little skepticism here, because this is a common seller fear. If the pool is smaller, doesn't that just mean the only buyers left are the low ballers? The ones hoping for a holiday discount because they think you're desperate?
That is a crucial question. And the analysis shows that while, sure, lowballers exist year-round, the main characteristic of the holiday buyer isn't price sensitivity.
Okay.
It's time sensitivity.
Right.
They are almost always motivated by a clear, hard deadline. They're relocating for a new job that starts in January, or they're timing a move around school calendars. Or maybe they just need to lock in that better rate they saw before it vanishes again.
So their motivation is non-negotiable, and that's where the leverage comes from.
Absolutely. The result is a much cleaner, much faster potential deal. Because these buyers have these hard deadlines, they make decisions faster. They write cleaner, more serious offers. And that deadline keeps the whole conversation moving. For you, the seller, that translates directly into more leverage. You can demand cleaner contingencies, a closing timeline that actually suits your family's schedule, or just avoid all that back and forth drama you see in the spring.
You're trading volume for commitment.
You're trading volume for commitment. That's a perfect way to put it.
Let's circle back and connect that rate data we started with to the seller's leverage. This is that quiet power of improved affordability that we're seeing right now.
Yes, we know that high rates, especially when they were, flirting with 8% last year, they definitely sent huge numbers of buyers to the sidelines. They were just financially locked out. The monthly payment wasn't feasible.
But when those rates ease down toward the low sixes, that creates a huge practical impact. Can you explain that sort of psychological pivot point for the buyer?
It's all about affordability and, maybe more importantly, confidence. It means a lower monthly payment, which gives them more purchasing power for the exact same budget they had 3 months ago. But the confidence part is key. It's this belief that, okay, now is finally workable. It's not just that they can afford it. It's the fear that if they don't act now, that little bit of rate relief will just disappear.
And that urgency is what unlocks the demand.
That's what unlocks real actionable demand. And this isn't just a theory. It's a reliable pattern we see in the market data over and over again.
Mortgage rates dip and applications spike right after.
It's a highly predictive cycle. The key insight for the seller is all about positioning. If you are one of the few well-presented homes still on the market, when buyers feel that renewed confidence, when they see that dip and decide, I have to lock this in.
Your property becomes a primary option very, very quickly.
Instantly. You capture that immediate spike in activity precisely because your competition is sitting on the sidelines waiting for January.
That positioning really makes the pulling the listing strategy feel like a huge missed opportunity in most cases. But we have to address the exceptions. When is pulling the listing actually the smart strategic move? We're aiming for strategy here, not just blind optimism.
Right. There are a few key situations where pausing is essential. And they almost always involve either a structural necessity or, an inability to actually show the home properly. For instance, if you need to do a major renovation, a new roof, foundation work, a kitchen refresh that will dramatically change how the home shows, you should absolutely wait until that's done. You never want to sell potential. You want to sell perfection.
Okay, and what about that holiday invasion of privacy we talked about at the beginning?
That falls under the necessary pause umbrella. If you have a specific extended family thing that makes any showings truly impossible, like you have 15 people staying in your home for 5 straight days, it's smart to strategically block out that period.
So pause for the week, not for the whole 2 months.
Exactly. Pause to keep your sanity, but don't pause for the entire season out of a generalized sense of stress.
And what about specific market factors?
Yes, the winter light factor can be a real thing in certain northern or coastal markets. If your property really relies on its outdoor features, a spectacular garden, waterfront access, and those things just look bleak in the dead of winter,
Right.
a strategic pause until early spring might actually maximize your sale price. But again, that's a calculation. It's not an emotional reaction.
Okay, so let's say a seller decides to stay active. They want to capture that dual leverage, low competition, and motivated buyers. Let's lay out the 4 smart, actionable moves they need to make.
First and foremost, set realistic, non-negotiable showing windows. You're staying active for the serious buyers, but you have to make this manageable for your family. Block out core family meal times, block out Christmas Eve, maybe even block out a few weekday evenings.
Create predictable windows.
Predictable windows that work for you. It helps manage the buyer's expectations and, just as importantly, your own stress levels.
Okay, that protects your sanity. What's move number 2?
Lean heavily on your online presentation. Because people are so busy, they need to be able to pre-qualify your home from their couch. That means professional, high-quality photos, video walkthroughs, clear floor plans. Give those motivated buyers every single tool they need to confirm your home fits their criteria before they commit their precious holiday time to a physical visit.
The third strategy is always crucial, but maybe more so now. Price for the market today.
Absolutely. You cannot afford to play the wait-and-see game during the holidays. You need to make sure your price puts you squarely in the must-see category for that serious, rate-sensitive buyer. The biggest risk of staying active is having the listing just sit too long. Then it gets seen as stale or damaged goods when the wider market comes back in January. A sharp price avoids that.
And finally, make it incredibly easy for them to say yes.
That means having all your ducks in a row. Provide clean, comprehensive disclosures right up front. Offer flexible but clear timelines for closing that you know you can meet. And just maintain excellent communication. If you can separate yourself from the limited competition by being organized and easy to work with, you just enhance your leverage even more.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Let's just summarize the bottom line. The holiday slowdown is completely real in terms of how it feels, but the data shows the opportunity is still there.
The opportunity is a double advantage that you really won't find at any other time of year. You're competing against far fewer homes in front of a pool of really serious time-motivated buyers,
And it's all happening at a moment when financing has quietly become just a little bit more favorable.
which is the catalyst. That's what pushes those sideline buyers into action right now.
So the decision to pause, it really shouldn't be about avoiding holiday stress. It has to be about strategic positioning to improve your final outcome. If you're torn between waiting or staying active, the key isn't just when you list, but whether your decision improves your position in the market. So think about this. How may a detailed listing strategy for November 1, focused on low volume, high conversion buyers with deadlines, look different than one for February when you're facing a much larger, but maybe less urgent group of buyers? That difference, that's your leverage.